Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be reviewing all my foundations that I have. I have this many. This is actually after I cleared out some of my base stuff and just all my makeup in general, because a lot of it I just didn't use. So all of this is stuff I actually like. I am naturally a sheer skin tint kind of girl, so there's a lot of that in here, but there's also like my heavier foundations because I do go out and sometimes wear a lot more makeup, so expect a range of different types of product. For each foundation, I'm going to include on screen the properties that each one has, because it's a lot of information to talk about, and I just want to talk about like my experience with each one. So on screen, that's what will be there. Anyway, I don't want this to be a long video, so let me just start. Starting strong with a new launch and a new one in my collection. This is a Fenty Beauty Skin Sticks. I have the liquid as well. I would say I prefer the liquid. This is fun. It's like a really fun, you know, when you want to wear like everyday makeup, but you want something a bit heavy, if that makes sense. Like you can add this to your night routine makeup to intensify it. That's what a lot of people do. They mix it with like, you know, their foundations. It's almost like a concealer kind of vibe, if I'm being honest. So do I like it? Yes. Is it what I gravitate towards? No. Like, I think their other base stuff is better. Yeah, it's not me, but I do like it. I think both can exist. Next is a Heavy Babe. This is a NARS Soft Matte Foundation. I love this foundation actually, which is very surprising because I'm known for like dewiness, skin-like, which is the complete opposite of this foundation. This is like my beat foundation. If I'm going out at night, this is what I will wear. It's matte, but it's a soft matte, so it's not like drying. It's very like smoothing on the skin. It's so beautiful. It's one of my favorite like heavy duty foundations. I also love their concealer. Their concealer is absolute perfection, if I'm being honest. You know that airbrush makeup everyone's doing right now? This is what I use if I'm trying to do that. So yeah, this is probably one of my favorite NARS foundations. This is just like, they really ate when they made this. Next is one I reviewed and also talk a lot about. Now that I've used it a lot more, I have a more solid opinion on it. It's very like liquidy, definitely has coverage. It's very everyday, but also nighttime. I like to categorize foundations and makeup as day and night because I think both of my styles are very different. I would say this is very good for both, if I'm being honest. More daytime, it's very hydrating, very like sheer, watery like vibes, but still has coverage. Very comfortable on the skin as well. So yeah, I really do actually like this. I also love their concealer. It's what I'm wearing right now. It's just very perfect for every day. So yeah, I was very surprised by this. Glossier for me is very like makeup, like, if that makes any sense. So I wasn't expecting coverage, but this has coverage. I would say this is for more dry skin as well. Another NARS, this is a light reflecting one. This is very, 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 very dewy. Very, very different to the other one I just talked about. I thought when I saw this and read this, I was gonna love it, which I do. I really do like this, but it also gives oil central. Like after a long day, there's a very high chance you will look wet. So again, this is more if you have dry skin. Sometimes as well, you can see the like product and the oil separate, which just shows how much like oil is in this. But again, it's very perfect for that dewy, like wet look. So I do still use this, but it does come with like a caution message that you might look wet at the end of the day. Kosas, I do really like Kosas. This is a newer one in my collection as well. I haven't used it that many times, but I do really like it. I love the concealer as well. It's very like, they're very skin-like vibes, which is a bit of me, and it's got a lot of skincare, I think. Yeah, it does. Hyaluronic, niacinamide, peptides, all of that. I think there's a lot of makeup now that has skincare, which I do really like. A lot of it is lies as well. Like, I don't believe a lot of it, but you know, there's a rise in skincare in makeup. So that's good because I've always like looked for that because I've always blended the two anyway. But yeah, this foundation I do really like. It's very everyday, very light, it's very like fluffy, if that makes any sense. I don't know. Now my number one skin tint of the year, big claims, but I have to go with this. The Hourglass skin tint, very hydrating. I'm wearing it right now. It is the most gorgeous formula. It is hydrating, it's got coverage, light. You can wear it so many different ways. You can do it like sheer vibes, but you can also add more so it's got more coverage, which is kind of what I've done today. Hourglass has just been that girl recently. They have such amazing products. They have some of my favorite products. Yeah, this product genuinely excites me. I'm just excited to see what else they have because yeah, they really ate when they made this skin tint. This is the Fenty skin tint I was talking about. It's their Skin Ease Drops skin tint. One of my favorites as well. It's soft matte, which I thought I would never be. I just think for my skin type, it's just the most appropriate finish. I have combination skin, and soft matte, genuinely after like hours anyway, it becomes dewy. So it's good to start off matte and then end up dewy, then start like dewy and end up wet, if that makes sense. So yeah, this is soft matte. It's got coverage, but it's very light, very, very light. I just wish it was a bit bigger. I just wish it was a bit bigger, it had a bit more product. But this has lasted me. But I think if this was like my only product, it would not last me that long because you do need quite a bit, you do. But yeah, really love this, really love this. One of my top 5. Another skin tint. This is the Summer Fridays. It's very hydrating, very glowy, very dewy, has coverage. I think this is a lot of people's favorites. I do really like it. Is it in my top 5? I don't know. I think I've tried a lot more now, so it's probably not in my top 5. But it used to be at some point. It was in my top 5. I think just, yeah, brands are just launching so much nowadays. There's just so much to compare to. But yeah, this is very, very nice. Very, very nice. Really beautiful finish. Very dewy, like light skin-like finish. It's not dewy, sorry. Skin-like is the right term. Yeah, it's a very pleasant product to use. Have another Hourglass. This is in my summer shade. I've got multiple shades for my favorite. Say, this is their slip tint. Now, I would personally say this is like a foundation because it is quite heavy on me. I wouldn't say it's a skin tint. Skin tints for me are something you just slap on, which feels like skincare, if you know what I mean. This, I have to like work into my face. It's like a heavy product for me. Other people it might not be. It's a tinted moisturizer, so it doesn't feel like a tinted moisturizer, but it's got coverage, dewy, all of the like basic things that a tinted moisturizer does, this does do. And again, I know a lot of people love this. Me, it's not in my top 5 any longer, but it's like a good one. It's a good like multi-purpose. It can be a foundation and it can be a skin tint, I guess. So yeah, say this is a good product as well. I think this is my number 1 foundation. I had my number 1 skin tint. This is my number 1 foundation. It's the Pat McGrath Skin Fetish foundation. This again is a soft matte. It's a very like skin-like soft matte, butter smooth finish. I just don't know how she made this formula, but she really snapped when she made this. It is perfect for all occasions, all types of makeup. Skin-like, heavy duty, you can do anything with this foundation. This is a pricey foundation, but I think if you give it a chance, if there's any way to get a tester, please do, because I think once you try it, you will understand why it is, I think it's £60, which is a lot, but I think again, it is £60 for a reason, because I don't really have a foundation that does what this one does. It's very light, sheer, but full coverage and soft matte. Like everything I've ever wanted in a foundation, this does. Charlotte Tilbury, this is their Beautiful Skin Foundation. I had a moment where I used this all the time, and I still sometimes remember it exists. I think I judge foundations and products by how often I think about them. This had its moment for me. It doesn't anymore, because again, I have so many others. But it's nice. It's very hydrating. It's very like dewy, like skin but better vibes, but in a foundation. Can look quite greasy if you put too much of it on, but I think that's like with any product, you can just overdo it. Yeah, the shade match on this is like perfect as well for me. I'm shade 7, neutral. So yeah, it's nice. It's a nice foundation again. I think with me, you can kind of tell which are like my favorites and which are like okay, then which I don't really like. As I said, all of these I do like because I've cleared out my makeup. But I think it's very easy to tell which ones I'm like excited about and which I'm like, it's fine, it'll do. Like, you know, if I lose it, would I buy it again? I don't know. This is actually a drugstore one, which I don't have many of. Max Factor Hybrid Foundation. It is very dewy, but it's almost very similar actually to the Charlotte Tilbury. These are very, very similar now that I'm thinking about it. So I would say maybe a dupe. This is very hydrating, very like, it's got coverage. Very surprised this is actually as affordable as it is. I don't know if it's like still around, hopefully it is. But yeah, it's a very like it feels good on your skin type of foundation. It doesn't feel like it's clogging, if you know what I mean. Yeah, this is one I really, really loved when I found it. So yeah, if you're looking for a drugstore, like expensive looking foundation, try the Max Factor Hybrid Miracle Second Skin foundation. This product is for me the epitome of like a tinted moisturizer. It's the Estee Lauder Tint Release Moisturizer. This is literally a moisturizer that has tint. It comes out white, and then you rub it in and it turns into a foundation. So that for me, if I was to like make a skin tint, that would be essentially what it does. I'm not sure how it works on like different skin tones, because I've only ever tried it on myself. So that would be interesting to know if it does work for you, and if they maybe have other shades, I don't know, I haven't checked. Then it's a lovely like no makeup product, because it doesn't feel like anything is on your skin. I genuinely sometimes forget it's on my skin until I look at myself and I'm like, oh yeah, my skin doesn't look like this usually. Yeah, if you genuinely do hate the feeling of makeup and skin tints even are too much for you, try this tint release, because it like, yeah, as I said, you forget you're even wearing it. And I am someone who, like after an hour or two as well, I can feel the makeup going into my pores. So I know what that feels like. So yeah, try this out. A heavier version of that, but also still light and not exactly a foundation, is the Estee Lauder Sheer Tint. This is very nice if you have dry skin, like, because it's very dewy, it's got a bit of oil in there, so it's very like hydrating, dewy vibes. It's almost like a soft matte, but not a soft matte. It's like below a soft matte, but dewy, if that makes sense. I don't know if there's like a finish in between that. So yeah, if you have dry skin, I'd highly recommend this. It's very nice finish, and like it feels like smoothing, like moussey. It's like a moussey finish, if that makes sense. Another drugstore, this is the EX1 Invisiwear liquid foundation. If you've been on my YouTube for years, and if you've been here since the start, you will know I had a strong bond with this foundation, and I have not used it honestly in months and years and whatever, but I still keep it because I know I like it. So I'm never gonna throw this. I always repurchase one. Like if it's expiring, whatever, I will always buy it again. So if you're looking for a drugstore foundation, this is like foundation. And this is fabulous for like dewy skin. Like I think when my skin was at its peak, this is what I used and this is what it loved. So yeah, another drugstore foundation if you are looking for something dewy and like skin-like, just like skin but better. This Clinique foundation is actually very, very good. I just never use it because I forget it's there. I need to put it at like the front of my collection so I remember it's there, but it's genuinely like another one that's like a moussey finish where it's like blurred and like soft matte, but it feels very like whipped. It's like very skincare, very like feels good on the skin, one like that, you know? So I need to incorporate this more. It's a serum foundation. I need to incorporate this more in my makeup because I think it just feels good on my skin. So that's what it needs right now. So I need to like put it back in there. This is a new launch. This is the Rose Ink Soft Light Skin Smoothing Liquid Foundation. I do like this. I do like Rose Ink actually. I love most of their products. I'm wearing their blush right now. So yeah, I really do like this. This is a foundation as well. Very everyday. I wouldn't wear this at night. It's very nice. So it's like a cute foundation, like skin, like illuminated vibes. Yeah, I'm really working on my adjectives here because it's very hard to describe foundations, you know. This is a nighttime foundation for me. This is the Born This Way matte. This is like a matte foundation, and I realized I go for mattes when I go out at night because nothing worse than looking like shiny in pictures. So this is actually, I'm very surprised I even like it. I actually like a lot of Too Faced products, which is like not my style at all. But this foundation and also their concealer, which is like their more like dewy concealer, is like, that concealer is my favorite concealer. Like I would say top 3. But this Born This Way matte, very nice, and the shade match is absolutely spot on for me. Like their shade matches for me are like perfect. So yeah, if you're looking for like a light, soft matte kind of foundation, this is very nice actually. Sometimes I think going outside your box helps because a lot of these foundations I never thought I would ever use or like, but some of them are like my favorites. Lancome Tint Idol Ultra Wear, I absolutely just said that in English when this is clearly French. This is the foundation to my favorite concealer. I love their concealer in this range. I use it all the time. No makeup every day, nighttime, that's the concealer I use. So when I tried the foundation, I was, again, pleasantly surprised. I had high hopes and they delivered. This is a very nice, breathable, like everyday foundation. It's just a very pleasant product. Like, it just makes me happy. I don't know, Lancome has kind of been doing it for me as well recently with their like base and face. To be honest, just their concealer and foundation is all I've really like dedicated time to. But those two are really doing it for me. So very happy with this foundation as well. This is a new one in my collection. Oh, found another Hourglass skin tint. I have 3, one for every occasion because I need this in all parts of my routine at all times of the year. Last but definitely not least is the Rose Ink Tinted Serum. This tinted serum carried me this year. It was my #1 skin tint for the longest time, and I haven't been using it that much recently, again because I think I've just got other stuff to use. But this, again, if you're someone who hates the feeling of makeup on your skin, this and this Estee Lauder, these two are the definition of like forgetting you're even wearing makeup. If you're trying to trick someone into thinking you're not wearing makeup, these are the products I would use. Like if you're like going to see a guy, you want to do like the no makeup look and like trick them, this is like perfect. If you want to like healthy, luminous, like you have no problems in your life, this is the foundation for that. Like, I don't know how they did this again. I realized I love products again that feel like skincare but a makeup. This is very much serum with tint. It's not tint with serum. It has to be the skincare first and then the makeup in order for it to be a real no makeup, do you know what I mean? So when you pump it out, it's literally a liquid that turns into a tint. And you can barely see it, and that's the whole point. Like, I hate when people are like, what's the point of wearing the makeup if you can't even see a difference? It makes me feel better. It makes me feel like there's just an elevated version of me, and that's the point. It doesn't necessarily have to be like crazy difference for there to be a point, you know? Sometimes it's just that little push, that little just tweak, that's all you need. So if you just want that little tweak, this and this are just perfect. I feel like I've just rambled for like an hour, but it's really hard to describe foundations without wearing them. I'll include as much information as I can on screen because I want to give people the most accurate description of a product. If you like the same styles as me, or if you like what my makeup looks like, these are the products I'm using, so they might also be for you. So just give them a try in the store, you know, swatch them, like have fun with it, because there's a foundation out there for everyone. You know, I thought like for the longest time there was like 3 foundations that I liked, but once I started exploring, trying out new products, like different routines, I realized that a lot of products I thought I'd hate, I actually really love. So be open-minded. So yeah guys, I hope this was helpful. I'm really excited to see what other products are out there. If there's any specific like foundations similar to these ones that you use or know of, do let me know. There's a couple I want to try, like the House Labs one. I think that one will like be perfect for me. I don't know, I just have a feeling. Stuff like that. If you use any, do let me know how you get on, and I'll try and like find the one for me as well. So yeah, I hope you guys stay safe, have a lovely week. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.